Hi, welcome to this is the intro day to the Nine Candles. And the reason I came up with doing this a couple years ago was when I first did my first nine candles, I just said, I'm going to do nine candles. And I did every night on my own and I lit them. And by the time people got into it, they go, oh, you didn't tell me about the beginning. And then on the fifth day, I was explaining what all the days are about. Each day is just a progression of a building of energy. And Danny and I talked about it. So a year ago, Danny started coming on day one. Thank you so much, Danny Shea.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Oh,
Thank you for having me.
it's most fun. The meditation this year, well, first of all, when we left the meditation last time, we were going into the equinox, I think, solstice or equinox. And on that nine candles, I'd had these visions of us all being lashed together in canoes going across the South Pacific looking for the new shore. And now we are learning, in the last few months, we've been learning about where the waves were pushing us, and that the waves were pushing us from our own planet and the energies on our own planet, ley lines and earth lines and dragon lines and all of the pressure that's building on the earth, and energy that's coming from outer space. And that scientists have spent years tracking, and they found the universal hum. I think it's so funny. And it's two black holes that are circling each other at the edge of the universe. And they heard it first on the audio telescopes, the big radio telescopes. And
Yeah.
then they've had to invent instruments. They've been working on this since 2015. And this last month, they announced the 7 countries that worked on it. They've pinpointed where in the universe it's coming from. And this hum is such a low, slow wave that it's just, they had to wait till the next one came. I mean, it's not like the sort of way we think of frequencies and waves. They're very widespread, but it's going to be here apparently with us for a long, long time, because they don't know what happens, how black holes finally deteriorate. So all the way from that to stars that are bursting and photonic energy that's coming through. And, we're just going to be lit up like Christmas by Christmas. But right now we're headed to 88 Lionsgate because.
Can I back up?
Sure.
That dark the dark
Low hum,
hole,
the
low
universe.
hum. Are we coming to the peak of it? Is that what they're
It's
saying?
it's about no there. It can run. It's the waves are about 2 weeks apart. So it's like you were sitting on the shore waiting to surf in, and you had to wait 2 weeks for the wave to come get you. But they do know it's putting enough pressure on all the planets that it's changing our orbits a little bit. It's
Ooh.
changing our orientations a little bit. And we're already doing that to ourselves too by some of the things we're doing on the earth.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of whole lot of changing going on.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
need, and we think, okay, people who study the different energies from the ones that are based on Gaia and Earth and the ones that are coming in from the outside. This is something that geologists have viewed that happens every 13,000 years. And the first time I heard about it, it was 2.5 years ago. Someone said every 13,000 years they would find
Yeah.
shift in the crystalline structure of rocks. And they were wondering, oh, what must have hit the earth then that caused that? So then they went back 26,000 years and they found the same crystalline shift. Then they went back 39,000 years. So just keep going back. This has been going on since we've been going around the sun, and the sun's been going around the galaxy, and we get out of a cloud of some sort of energy that protects us from subatomic particles. And I don't really want to give you a physics class on this, but trust me, there are people, they're called geobiologists, and you go find them. Danny's favorite person in the world, Rory Duff. Yes, get your no-dos out if you don't watch Rory speak. But he says very incredibly wise things. But they were expecting this, and they said this is going to happen, and it's happening.
It's happening.
And what I remember thinking is, since I work with crystals all the time, if it could shift the crystalline structure in a crystal, what's it doing in us?
Yeah.
We've humans have never, we've been alive, but it's actually one of the times when our ancestors made a great leap and no one could figure out why. So this is our time to make our great leap. And there's no aluminum foil you can put on your head. There's no way to avoid it. Just going to have to go through it, kids. It's here. So we're here and we're getting into that cycle. And that's what this Nine Candles is about, is how each of us can empower ourselves and how we can use our power and our intention for Gaia to keep things together. In case you ain't noticed, Gaia's pissed off and she's getting warmer every day right now. So anyway, this is the meditation that goes with these 9 candles. Together, we meet to light the 9 candles in the season of Lionsgate. Lionsgate is an alignment of the star Sirius, Earth, and Orion. And it is a time for great energetic exchange within the universe. The portal dates give a boost to people's aspirations, allow us to manifest new ideas, and enhances our spiritual energy as individuals, as well as the collective. As we've learned to accept our own energetic vibrations, we also become more aware of the energies arriving from the universe to support these changes on Gaia and ourselves. We acknowledge that many of these colored candles symbolize the many ways we can expand the energy from our life balance, and universal shifts. We ride the waves surrounding ourselves. We ride the waves surrounding ourselves to a better future. And when we get to lighting the candles, this is where we'll light them. They'll light a different one for each day. So if you want to follow along with the candle lighting, you can either have 9 candles, you can have 1 candle you light for 9 days, whatever works with where you live and how you do it. I've lit red candles before and green candles because I was directed to because of the energy of those colors. This time I've been told all energy, all colors, all chakras, everybody's in the pool. So
Cool. Can you go back to the candle?
Sure.
Because that's gorgeous. That's gorgeous.
That's my gorgeous stone.
so talk to me. So I see the chakra feather
right
over there,
and that's the throat chakra egg to help us communicate.
Okay, and the yellow and
that's on my desk every day. That's an homage to the people in Ukraine, and I'm going to keep it on my desk until they win.
Yay, yay, yay. And then you have in the center, what are the 3 stones?
This is the citrine, and citrine is known in the Middle Ages. It was called the merchant stone, and every merchant, every shop holder, every person who had a house would have a piece of citrine in it because it brings in prosperity and abundance. And it's a good luck stone. And then my little globe, this is my tiger's eye. And this tiger's eye, I jumped on this when I saw it in the store. It has every color you can get in tiger's eye, from the green blues to the dark purples to the browns to the honey golds. And tiger's eye is the stone where we manifest in our own energy, and it relates to our body. And then this stone, which Danny and I discussed earlier, this is a fluorite crystal. It's called an octahedron. It's got 8 sides, and it's got 4 corners. This one you can't see so well on the table, so I'm gonna put it back with me. This one has 4 corners you can see as you turn it around, and that's like north, south, east, and west, and then as above, so below. And I think that it embodies the energy systems we put around ourselves individually, and also that we put around ourselves as a collective.
Yeah.
Is there anything else on the table
no, I'm just was fascinated with the centerpiece of that, because I know you're going to go over the candles on those
Mm-hmm.
particular days
Mm-hmm.
and what they mean. But the center piece of that was intriguing to me. So thank you.
Well, I always have a stone. I always pick either one or two stones to put in the center because
Sure.
they help ground the piece and ground us to where we're going.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
did you want to start with
Well,
North
I
Africa?
always I
Mhm.
always throw a card or two
Okay.
as well for grounding in this or that. So should I do the little meditation, the big meditation, 4 directions, 6 directions, or cards first? What would you like?
Do your cards first because I thought your cards were interesting.
They were. So I pulled 3 cards before we started this. And as with Nancy Jean's crystals in the center, these also set the stage, set the grounding, and clarify the intention on especially how we interpret the cards. So you can interpret these any way you want. The first card I got, I'm using my Galactic Heritage deck, is stubbornness. And this is in the past. We are so, for me, this card represents how we are locked into our past beliefs, things that no longer serve us, things that we're holding on to that we can't let go of. And the next card that I got, and I found it interesting that I got a past, present, and a future in this deck, which
Mm-hmm.
normally doesn't happen. In the present, I got learning to nurture.
Mm-hmm.
As we go through this Lionsgate portal, as we go through this wave, this 13,000-year-old wave, and we're hitting little bumps of it, as
Mm-hmm.
Nancy was saying. You were saying what, 3 week wave? It doesn't really matter the timing because I
Mm-hmm.
think it may affect us differently. But as we ride that wave and hit the crest of the wave and then the trough of the wave and then the crest, as we feel that, it's really important for us to learn how to nurture ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the greenness of this,
Mm-hmm.
which grounds us in. And speaking of ley lines and waves
Mm-hmm.
coming to us from outer space, we see those bombarding us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important for us to learn how to stay nurtured, how to nurture ourselves and the planet. And then the next card, well, this is the future. And we, as we go through these cycles, we get to graduation day.
Mm-hmm.
So we are, as sometimes slow as it seems, sometimes as fast and out of control as it seems, we are going to get to an end where we're graduating and we're moving on to a different level of awareness, a different experience. And it all goes back to our stubbornness. How
Mm-hmm.
tight do we want to hang on to some of the old ways that don't serve
Mm-hmm.
us anymore?
That's right.
Yeah.
When you light these candles, if your intentions are to accept change or to push yourself towards a kind of desired change, something you think you've needed to know for a while,
Yeah.
that can be really helpful. It also can be, the original 9 candles is a feng shui ceremony where you light 9 red candles, which in Chinese translates to prosperity, and you're letting go of your lack of, and you're bringing in the new, what you have, what you can actually.
Right.
And I had a friend who I taught her how to do that ceremony. She ran a store. And when sales would really go down and she couldn't figure out why, she'd put those 9 candles up on the counter and she'd light them every day. And it always turned the atmosphere around. So if you're a little,
yeah,
if you want to let go of some of that stubbornness, maybe that should be on your intentions.
yeah. And one of the things that I was listening to yesterday, um, was somebody was talking about intentions, and they
Mhm.
said my intention was to open my third eye and see clearer,
Mhm.
and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, and so I
Mhm.
keep putting that. And she almost had to let go of the intention to do it, but it's
Mhm.
just a simple intention as I want to see clearer with my third eye, and then let it go. Just
Mhm.
let the intention be, and not push it, not fight it. Just let it out there, and see what you see in your third eye. So I thought that was it just rang really true to me,
Yeah.
and it seemed so simple and powerful at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah. So one of the things that I do that we had talked about, in my mornings, and you talked about it with your center stone,
The fluorite,
floor.
and that's not cut, guys. That's how that comes out of the ground.
Yeah.
They make those magic shapes.
And so in my morning practice, I for the last number of years, I've been saying my prayers to the six directions. And some people will say, well, there's seven directions, because you are the seventh direction in the center of it,
Mm-hmm.
but you have your east, south, west, north. That's the way I normally
Mm-hmm.
start it. And then you have above and below the grounding. And of course, I'm in the center, but maybe that needs to be um, mentioned or thought of, put into the awareness, so that we don't miss us
Mm-hmm.
in the cycle of new beginnings, strength of the midday, the letting go of the day, and having a little review of what we did, what was good, what was maybe needs some work on. And then in the north, the winter, the rest, the sleep, that's also a review time and a replenishing of the energy, so that we can start all over
Mm-hmm.
again in the east with the rising sun.
Mm-hmm.
And all that is, we're doing all of those directions, looking to a new beginning, looking to work the beginning, looking to release, to be enjoying the work of the new beginning, the work, the enjoyment, and then starting all over again. All that is on the earth. And
Mm-hmm.
so we need to respect and be cognizant of what we take from the earth and what we replenish
Mm-hmm.
into the earth. And then we got to look up at the stars and see what messages are we getting from our higher source.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say angels, some people say spirit guides, some people say galactic beings. And we were talking about this before we pushed record, that every religion has north, south, east, west, above, and below.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it all is, we are the center of all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember hearing that the Chinese thought that they were the center of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, well, okay. And now I think that no, we are the center of the universe, and we're all part of the universe. So what we think, what we say, what our intentions are reverberate throughout everything. And
Mm-hmm.
so what these 9 candles do for me is they clarify my intention of what is new, what I'm working on, what I'm enjoying in the sunset of this, the Western portion, and then what I want to, how to replenish, and what grounds me, what keeps me in spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So these 9 candles are just so powerful for me.
Yes. One of the things I think the 9 candles do is only you can hold on to your own serenity in these or in any time. And especially when so many changes are going on. You need to go be by yourself and find your own sense of calm. And then when you find that small, still voice, you bring it to all of us and we amplify each other.
Yeah.
And that's,
And I think the small, still voice, that there is, when we go into that place of calm and we start vibrating that small, still voice within ourselves, we can also verbalize it in the best way that we can in love and joy. And that adds to the vibration.
oh yeah.
If we keep it inside, that's beautiful. That is adding to the vibration. But if we can articulate it in song, in movement, dance, art, verbally, it
Mm-hmm.
all adds to something. Even lighting the candles, that is setting up a vibration, light vibration, heat vibration.
Mm-hmm.
So I think action is hugely important in outside action when we're in that small still voice.
Yes. And it's, I'm so happy when I can find my mind gets down to a small, still voice because my
Mm-hmm.
mind's loud and it tries to talk over everything. And it's good to have a point or a time, even if it's only for 9 days, to focus on being part of looking for better, being
Yes.
part of having gratitude. I mean, I'm grateful for every person who shows up and wants to light candles with me, just wants to show up and watch me light candles. Um, I have a woman who follows me. She lives in a small New York apartment. She said, there's no open flame coming in this apartment. It's not going to happen. So, so that gives me a chance to do that for her and for her to choosing to be with me and to be
Yeah.
with us on these times. So, and this year, my guides open it up to whatever color you want, baby. Because I used to have people say, my favorite story about starting 9 candles is the first time I did it. This woman wrote me a lovely email and she said, oh my God, I couldn't believe you just sprung that on us. And I had to stop the tape when you said you needed 9 red candles. And I ran around my house and I found 9 red candles and I laid them all out so I could light them. And I'm reading this note going, where do you live in Michael's? I mean, where would you live? You'd have 9 red candles. But for her, it worked. And I think she still follows them. Um, so it's like I said, they can be little birthday candles. They can be whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because it's your candles, it's your journey, but we're all on it together.
Right. Right. And for the, I appreciate that woman saying that there's no fires in this apartment. I remember the first time you did that, we were going through a horrendous bout of smoke, as very similar
Hmm.
to the northeast.
Hmm.
And so if it I appreciate you saying that, you don't have to light a candle. You can
Hmm.
follow along or get one of those little
Automatic lighting ones. That's what, I started my table on fire one time. The last day of the candles, they were burning down, and one of them exploded. And my daughter and I happened to be in the kitchen right next to the room. And we all of a sudden looked over, and there was about 3 feet of flame coming up off my desk. And we ran in, we wrapped it up in the uh, tablecloth that was underneath, and we got it outside and stomped it out. And that's when we decided maybe we should have remembered to buy a fire extinguisher when we moved in here. And better late than never. I mean, there is still a brown spot. There's the memorial. That's why
Yes.
that's why my candles are on a pizza stone. The next time I mentioned to the kids, because I share a condo with my children, they said, Mom, could we get you the little ones that light with a little automatic lighter? Would that work? And I said, nah, I'm gonna feel the same to me. But if that works for you, I wish I
Yeah.
could get to that point. Trust me, I have 2 children that wish I could.
Yeah. And it goes back to doing what you feel is right for you,
Mhm.
what's in your heart. I would strongly suggest making sure that there's a glass of water or
Mhm.
a fire extinguisher nearby if you're near an open flame and you put a lot of things around you or wearing loose clothing. Just, we got somebody hair.
Yeah, so I'm not, my hair won't burn up, and it's already sort of a weird color anyway, but how would you know? Um, but Danny might go.
I'm learning more and more how to barbecue with long hair that you can't look over.
Yes, yes. There's a whole skill to having long hair. I used to have
There
hair
is.
longer than yours. I used to have hair to my waist when I was young. But then
Yeah,
when you give birth and you have small children that pull, the first thing that goes is all the hair that's up here to be pulled.
there you go. Yeah, it takes a while, but anyway, it's not about.
This
It's
is
about
all about
candle.
life. This is all of our life journey things we've learned.
Yeah.
But about, did you want to say something in closing about the candles?
No, I mean, I am just so honored to be part of this. So thank you so much. I think this is, it's so important that we get beyond what our limitations are and
Mm-hmm.
move towards something um, that brings us together. I love the multicolored candles for
Mm-hmm.
this year. We are every. I don't know anybody that's not feeling this shift, and whether it is an actual light switch, which
Mm-hmm.
will be for some, or it's just really gradual and a gradual awareness that we hardly know is happening.
Mm-hmm.
We are changing on a cellular level with all of these new thoughts, new waves of energy coming to us. And so some of us are going to fall right down that Lionsgate portal
Mm-hmm.
or up or over. And others are going to be floating. And so it's going to be just enjoy the ride.
Right. And your ride is your ride, and there's no one that says it has to be this speed, this day, this place.
Yes.
Doesn't work that way.
No.
Okay, well, this is when I do the normal candles, this is the time we go back to the table and we blow out all our candles, because I tell people to do that because I had some people who said, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to blow it out. And now I only have 8 candles. um, and the other thing is tomorrow at the same time, 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time, Dorothy Morgan will be joining us. She's an astrologer. She's part of the original myth of when I realized grids worked. I built my own grid, and I just wanted fun, new prosperity things to happen. And the next day, she drew my name out of a pile of names she had to get a free reading. And I thought, well, that's kind of cool. And,
Yeah.
that goes along with the whole tale of how that grid proved to me grids work. And Dorothy always comes, and she's always been day one, because she talks about what we're looking astrologically, those changes. And
Yeah.
then I've got Dr. Gale. I'll have Sheila and a couple of other readers, another astrologer. We're going to end the 9 days with a energy healer named Kathy McConnell, who you don't know because she have a channel. Danny knows who she is because he's worked with her, but she's going to explain to us what we're learning about energy and how she uses it. And she uses the plasma energy of the universe to heal people. So you can see another use of energy. So this is all about learning, healing, seeing different ways to do things, opening our eyes, and just breaking away and riding the waves.
Yeah.
Cowabunga, wasn't that the word they surfers?
Dude.
Yeah, dude. Anyway, well, have a good evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.